Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis. With me today is Jiunn, Seth, guys, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Doing well, man.
Good.
Wu-Tang is for the children.
Wu-Tang is for the children.
All right. So today we are talking about the Drew Estate Undercrown Maduro Corona Pequeña. Cigar is a petite Corona, 4-inch by 44 ring gauge. Comes out of the La Gran Fabrica de Drew Estate factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper's Mexican San Andres Maduro. Binder is Connecticut stock cut Habano, and the filler is from Brazil and Nicaragua. It is blended by Willie Herrera. Price point is $5.50, and the cigar was released in February of 2020. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
First off, I'd like to give a shout out to John for thanking him for being on this review.
Yes.
Just special thank you. That's all. That's all I have to say. So to get to this review.
Oh, I get it now. I get it. I'm there. I'm there.
All right, let's talk about the cigar. I thought it was overall pretty good. Medium body, medium strength. It's pretty earthy. So kind of the main two notes kind of I got is like a lot of roasted toastiness and like nuttiness, like nuts, roasted nuts. And then there's this like bitter chocolate that's a little creamy. So it's not like this like, 92% cacao where it's just like, that's just going to completely make your mouth and palate astringent. I thought it was pretty good, pretty earthy, dry, kind of a soil finish as well. I kind of felt like for the 20 minutes or so that I smoked this thing, it's not one of those things where it's like going to be transitional, nor am I expecting it to be that, but it kind of did its job for like this quick 20-25 minute smoke. So
But you, Seth, what are your overall thoughts?
I mean, I thought it was an awesome petite Corona that really showed some great flavors of rich earth and chocolate and spices, and there's like this cafe mocha vibe in the second third that was really good. I thought it really smoked great, and it reminded me of why I loved Undercrown when it was released 9 years ago, which then makes you feel really old. But no, I was really impressed with it, and I love the size.
you've been smoking since 10, so
I have.
All right, John, what were your thoughts on this cigar?
First of all, I don't know about 20 minutes. I managed to nurse an hour and 20 minutes out of this. I don't know how I did that.
Oh shit! You didn't smoke for that long.
No, really.
Seriously?
It was a VR
Probably
thing
smoked
with
it for about the
Coop,
same, yeah.
Coop was witness.
It
I
was,
don't know, man.
it was plugged.
It was a bit resistant on the draw, and I kind of docked it for that. But I mean, the funny thing is, you want a tighter draw in a smaller cigar like this,
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I mean, to Seth's point, this reminded me of why I like the Undercrown so much. And I think what I appreciate out of this is that the wrapper is being showcased in the smaller Vitola. So, like Seth was saying, you get that cafe mocha flavor, you get some baking spice, you get a little bit of earth, you get a little bit of leather, but like the wrapper really carries the profile, and it's a good wrapper. So I enjoyed it. I mean, I was smoking this, and I'm like, man, this takes me back to like stuff I used to smoke all the time. I don't know why I'm not smoking this anymore. And also, my thought was, man, I need like 3 bundles of these because this is perfect.
Oh yeah.
Whether I'm going out and doing 30 minutes or doing an hour and 20 minutes, this is kind of right. And the price point is pretty bang on. So I was like, this kind of checks a lot of boxes for me. Loomis, what about you?
I thought the cigar had a pretty average flavor profile until the final third, when it kind of dropped down a bit with some char and bitterness that joined in. The size just doesn't work for the blend for me. It's not. I just think it needs something a little bit more robust to bring the blend together. Other than me having a shorter smoking time than normal, I'm not sure I'd really come back to this size. But if you're a fan of the line, price point's attractive. If you're short on time for smoking, you're in the cold weather or whatever it is, feel free to smoke it. But I know the price point's attractive, but I'd rather smoke other cigars. Yeah, I'd rather smoke an Illusion at Rothschild at this price point.
Well,
than this. So
It's a hell of a, I mean, that's a close price too.
yeah. So, and you get a lot more cigar for the money too. So, all right, let's get into the scores. Start at the top with Seth, 7.52. Jiunn was next at 6.82. Then John gave it a 6.57. I gave it a 5.20. So Seth, 7.52.
I mean, listen, I really dug the cigar. I like the flavor profile. You can, as John said, you can really get the wrapper on this. I think you can pick up that binder as well. I like the tighter draw on this. I thought it really led to a really good smoking experience. Good blend. You really could pick out the tobacco in it more, I think, than like the regular Undercrowns. It was really concentrated, but it's one of these things. I think when you smoke it too, you're having fun with it. It really kind of makes you say like, man, I want an Undercrown Flying Pig, or I want an Undercrown Toro. You really want to kind of go from there. So I loved it.
All right, Jiunn, 6.682. Sorry,
Yeah,
6.82.
Yeah, I was thinking that as I was smoking this, I was like, man, I'd rather have a Lugioni Rothschild. Just kidding. But I mean, I agree with a lot of what Seth said.
Of course you do.
What's just kidding. I agree with more in line with what John said. But so I smoked 2 of these for review, and I also I know we haven't talked about the cigar yet, but the Undercrown Shade version of the Pequeña.
Yep.
I smoked 2 of those as well. But within all of these samples that I had, mine were considerably loose on the draw. So I realized within, especially the one that I like smoke for review and like, smoke it and take notes kind of a thing. I had to considerably loosen the intensity of the draws. So, because if I kind of drew on it, like typically how I draw on cigars, it got bitter and harsh really fast for this Maduro and the Undercrown Shade. So, I even put in my notes, I think, with one of these cigars that we did, one of these versions, to say, hey, slow down on the draw intensity, because if you do, that bitterness and that sharpness is going to kick up really fast.
All right, John, 6.57.
I'm kind of surprised it's not a little higher, actually. But yeah, I mean, this, like you said, this kind of takes me back to when I started smoking Undercrowns, and I was like, man, this is really good, and I should really smoke more of these. Definitely an above average flavor profile with great construction. Jiunn has a really good point. I mean, the trick, of course, with smaller ring gauge stuff is you do actually need to, like you said, there's a technique to smoking small ring gauge stuff, because if you're drawing too deep or drawing too often, it'll get harsh and hot and bitter immediately, which is why I was saying that I prefer a tighter draw, because it takes a little bit of the brain mechanism out of the aspects, so you can just kind of draw like normal. With a loose draw, I could see this thing smoking itself pretty quickly. I mean, one thing
minutes quickly, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
One thing that surprised me, and I don't know why they did it, is they put a footband on there.
Yeah,
I get it from a marketing perspective, but man, it's a small cigar. Like, save the 5 cents or 8 cents or whatever it is per cigar, and maybe bring the price down. Like, I don't know if it even
but
matters,
that takes away from their New York accent, though.
I mean, that's true.
Well, I mean, it's the new
Protect your
packaging for all the Undercrown stuff, so I think they just tried to do it to keep
it consistent.
consistent across
consistency.
them. I mean,
it's
that one never. I mean, the Maduro never had it until they
Yeah.
started bringing out the other lines. So
I mean,
I hate
to
that
be
they call
fair,
it
it's one of the-
Maduro too.
Yeah.
Do you guys prefer this side? Oh, sorry. We'll let
Go ahead.
Yeah, let
go
Aaron
first.
and John.
Yeah.
Well, John's not done.
I was
John's
just gonna
not
say
done.
it's probably one of the best looking, best presented smaller cigars that I've ever seen. Like it,
Oh yeah.
No, that's
like
true.
it presents like it's a $9 cigar. So I mean, to their credit, when I saw the price at $5.50, I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, I would go through bundles of these without question. Anyways, what were you saying, Jiunn?
Aaron?
yeah, I'll finish out. My 5.2 matches up well. It was a below average flavor profile. Had some issues with the burn. It just had to do some touch up to it, and it was kind of wavy throughout. So that's kind of where that score is for me. So what were we gonna say, Jiunn?
Where's this size within comparison to other Vitolas and Undercrown Maduro for you guys? Is this on more the top in your favorites, or where? Middle, lower?
I mean, what do they have? The Toro,
They got
Torpedo, Robusto,
all kinds of sizes.
They have the Manifesto.
Basically, what I'm trying to ask you is,
Dogma.
do you like the larger
don't-
ring gauges more than this Pequeña size?
I'm all over the place because I love the Flying Pigs, but you can say that's got a big ring gauge, but it's also shorter. I like
No.
this, and I like the Undercrown Toro, but I don't really care about the Torpedo. or the Robusto. I like that Toro aspect because this was kind of like created. I mean, John, you could talk about it. It's almost like the affordable Liga.
Right.
100%.
From
And
the Liga
when I
9s
think
and
of
stuff.
Liga 9s and Liga T52s, I think of Toro. So that's kind of what I gravitate towards. But it's a great price too, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. Right after when I was smoking this, I was like, "Wait a minute, how much is a Illusionary Rothschild?" So I went to look that
It's
up,
$5.
and it basically same thing. And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." Now we're kind of comparing apples to apples, right? But dude, that Rothschild and Connecticut Shade and the Mexican San Andreas, it's fucking fire though.
But you have to give,
that's a hard.
but you have to give Willie tons of props on this. And this is what I'll say: like Dion created Illusion Rothschild, and it's just the Rothschild. You know what I mean? Like he created the Gigantes, but it was like massive, and I don't think it was nearly as good. This Willie took a really good Undercrown blend, all the tobacco
that wasn't his.
Yeah, it wasn't his, and he made it into a petite Corona, which is incredibly difficult. And
fucking
it's
tough, man.
Yeah, and it's similar, if not better. So that's skills.
I think a lot of the core range for me, I won't say it smokes better. I prefer it. Like I think the Herrera Esteli, the Lonsdale is like the best size, bar none. T52 Corona Viva, and I don't even know if the Undercrown has a Corona Viva, but Corona Viva was like the sweet spot between still tasting the filler and getting that perfect amount of wrapper.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Corona Viva was legit.
Yeah, that was good.
Damn, I forgot that. Good job, John.
God, we sound such like fanboys, except for Aaron.
So let me get this back on track. Let me get this back on track.
Aaron, can you go shit on Aaron? Can you shit on this real quick?
Yeah, I'll do a little more here. So I was interested to smoke this because I had smoked various numbers of the tins that they came out with. What was it, 2 years ago maybe?
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
And I was like, about that. And the tins were a huge disappointment. And I figured that they would be because at that small of a size, you're taking out a lot of tobacco that makes up a blend. And I think that they were just kind of playing off the name of trying to sell these tins to get them out there, T52 and all that stuff. So I was hoping that at this ring gauge that they were able to get the blend to get. I mean, and it seemed like it hit for you guys, just didn't hit for me. It just didn't have enough to it to get it going. But I thought the tens were kind of a big miss on that.
Yeah, there were definitely misses. And I smoked through all of those tens, and I was like, this is not good.
I need some Corona Vivas now.
Right?
Yeah.
I still have not to this day smoked the Corona Viva T52 or the 9.
They made when was that? 2 years ago they released
that was
2 years
really
ago.
good. The Liga 9, the Liga 9 Corona Viva.
On gave us
the
yeah, that's right.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
I can't believe that this came out 9 years ago. I remember when these came out.
Yeah, I remember JD was all like, "Yeah, because of the people smoking the Liga 9s, we told them they created their own blend."
Cost them? Like, oh my god,
it's a bunch of.
But you know how many people
tobacco.
Even when they release this stuff, this is the more approachable Liga 9 and the more readily available Liga 9s.
Mm-hmm. Well, you remember when you couldn't there was
you couldn't get them
even on the secondary market. You couldn't get them. Ligas were impossible to get.
And then even still, the big Liga guys were still smoking the crap out of these.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody,
those guys are going through 5, 6. It's like, bro, you're gonna be out of all your ligas in a week. What are you doing?
BOTL.org back in the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's good. It's a good. Willie did a good job. He deserves a round of applause from you, Jiunn.
All right, if you guys are just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. Also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Wu-Tang!